Hey everybody, it's me, Brian Von VA, and I'm excited to read this set of stories because we're going to be talking about low-tier in-game flexes. Oh yeah, things that we've done that we can just go like, yep, I did that. It may not be like you're saving the world or anything, but something subtle and small, something so just innocent that was carried way too far that just makes you look so darn cool. And if you have something to share, you're more than welcome to put it in the comments below, but until then, what is your best low-tier in-game flex? Accidentally almost forced a campaign to end in the second session. We started at level 2, and by this session we were level 3 since we breezed through the first module, which was a task from the king to kill a monster and improve our ability. Our reward, in addition to being sent on a journey to fight a world-ending threat, were 3 magic items. A ring that could be used once per day to grant advantage on one roll. A pair of spectacles that recorded anything the wearer saw, then would cast major illusion to play back only what it had seen, up to 3 minutes long. Essentially a video camera that only recorded 3-minute clips and worked once per fortnight. And a jar that, 5 minutes after going empty, would fill itself back up with any non-potion or non-poison liquid it had been most recently filled with. You could fill it with a new liquid during the 5-minute gap if you wanted to change what it filled itself up with. Well, I took the spectacles. The DM had the idea of the big bad evil guy of the campaign starting off as a seemingly innocuous NPC. He was the king's cousin and at this time was currently serving as the family physician. After the king had introduced him as his favorite cousin, there was some conversation about how he had cured the king's child of some recent ailment. And our paladin said, entirely sincerely, "It's good to know His Majesty has such a loyal and talented physician looking after he and his family." He replied with something to the effect of, "I have no desire beyond ensuring our king and his children have a long, healthy life." I rolled an insight check? Roll for insight. Rolls a nat 20. You notice that, as he says that, there is a squint and a subtle hint of a wince, as if the very words he spoke taste like bile in the back of his throat. Okay, that's all for now. Really? Yeah, I'm good. Later that night, as my party was resting in preparation for the journey, we were heading on at first light. I sneaked down the hall to the big bad evil guy's room and rolled another nat 20 on my stealth as I came into the room. Managed to slip under the bed just before the BBEG came back in with the steward. They both failed perception checks. Oh, I could see where this is going. The two of them began discussing a plan to kill the king and elevate one of his children to the throne, which they would then use as a puppet. They would have the king's heir install them in higher positions of authority and give them the ability to rewrite laws and issue decrees, at which point they would kill the child and take complete control. Spectacles were recording. They parted ways. Physician went to sleep. I slipped out from under his bed, rolled just high enough on my stealth check to not wake him as I carefully placed my rapier next to his chin. Stabbed up into the brain, nat 20. I was playing an assassin rogue, so good damage. The big bad evil guy died instantly. Ah, fuck. What? That was the endgame boss. No frickin' way. Yep. I don't know what to do. I can adapt, I guess, but he was my plan for the final boss you all fight. Well, shit. Sorry, man. No, it's fine. I mean, it sucks, but you played it realistically and you didn't know. Let's skip to the next morning. So we did. We skipped to the next morning and we awoke to the sound of guards pounding on our door and summoning us to the throne room. The king alerted us that his cousin had been killed and wanted to know if we had heard anything. I confessed to the killing, and the king demanded to know why before he would have me executed. This showed him the recording. Oh, dude, that is so cool. It ends, and the steward is brought to the king, shown the recording, and then brought to the chopping block. Dies. Damn it! That was the smaller end boss that was going to become the main boss since you already killed the other one. Dude, I'm sorry, but come on. Yeah, I'll figure something out. But we probably gotta end this session here before you kill anyone else I'm saving for later. Oh? So some of them are in this room with us right now then? Good to know. Listen, you little brat, stop it. No, shut up, stop. The session ended there, and it took him a couple of weeks before he was ready for another one. He did a good job because it was still a really fun campaign. The big bad evil guy he ended up coming up with was pretty intense too. He even said that he liked the way it turned out better than what he had planned at the beginning. But yeah, that's how I killed 2 endgame bosses at level 3. Or killed one and got the other one killed. Listen, that DM, he got derailed so frickin' hard and I love it. But good on the DM for actually coming back at it with another set of stuff ready to rock and roll. Most of them would have just quit from what I know, so proud of you, DM. Very proud of you. I soloed a young black dragon at level 5. The DM had a strategy where the dragon stayed underwater waiting for the breath weapon to recharge, and my party was content to take pot shots at it when it did so. As a sentinel paladin of devotion, this displeased me. I used Fine Steed to get a giant seahorse and took the fight to the dragon. The DM had no alternative plans, and when he tried to fly away, the sentinel feat kept the dragon right where I wanted it. Cue to an insane series of lucky nat 20s in a row, all with smite, and the dragon was dead. I'm not stuck down here with you. You're stuck down here with me! Listen, that's a really good way to kill a dragon, and I'm impressed. Owning a rope. I kid you not. I was the only person who thought about buying rope during the character creation process. You can't even imagine how crucial this thing became during our first adventure. So much so that when my character wandered off after a mysterious shadow when everyone was asleep, the whole process of looking for her became like 10 times harder than it had to be. As they were looking for my cleric, they encountered a broken hanging bridge, so their first reaction was to use the rope. The DM said, "The cleric has the rope." Everyone was like, "Well, that definitely complicates things," and somehow decided to jump over the gap. Well, that didn't work out. Thankfully, the pit wasn't too deep, but still, it was too steep to just climb back up. So they had to create a human ladder with a mighty dex check, and then the one at the top had to pull everyone up to the top with a high athletics check. It was actually pretty funny that when my character was gone for like 30 minutes, the rest of the party had 2 near-death experiences, while my cleric was literally just, vibing in the dungeon. Unfortunately, the group learned their lesson because as soon as we left the dungeon, the druid bought a rope. And I wasn't special anymore. Sad day. Rest in peace to the rope cleric. Ooh, that sounds a little bit dirty. Oh, that would be El Caldero de Sangre, Goliath Bard, and Masked Luchador. Strength of 20, grappler feat, expertise in athletics. Oh, I love it. German suplexed a gnoll over a cliff, then performed the 3 the 3 amigos on the flint, leading the gnoll hunting pack. One intimidation roll later, the rest of the hunting pack was coerced into rebuilding the town. It went pretty much like this. No can do. We came here for the meat. We didn't destroy the town walls, and sure as hell won't be helping rebuild them. Now, El Caldero gave an angry stare and just cracked his neck. Dice are rolled. Good roll. Another player blares, "Viva la raza" from her phone. The gnoll just looks and says, No, sorry. We will help rebuilding. Please, don't suplex us like you did the ghost train. If anyone gets that reference, bonus brownie points to you. First session of a new campaign. We were all level 1, and our first battle was a coven of witches and their small army of toads, rats, and spiders. As his first move of the campaign, my bard, Henry, did a thunder wave that killed 30 of these tiny enemies all at once. The funny thing is that Henry is the de facto tank of the party, because the other characters were a wizard, 2 warlocks, and a sorcerer. Huh, never hear of a bard tanking. I killed an adult green dragon as a level 5 fairy druid. I was only attempting to distract it, but we were in the middle of a storm, and I had call lightning and the extended spell meta magic, thanks to the metamatic adept feat. I rolled really well to hide in storm clouds while pummeling it with lightning. Ooh, my jam in a nutshell. Level 3 one-shot as a Deolock. Don't think I've ever heard of that before. Explain. Barbarian talked a lot of smack, saying that I would run out of spells before he would run out of fists. Player versus player inevitably came about due to me not taking shit from a Coomer playing as a double G Cup Minotaur OC. I cast Spike Growth between us, out of their sight, and called his PC a heifer. He insists on a full movement, tries to dash, and when he tries to attack, the DM corrects the distance moved and calculates the Spike Growth damage. Dude ended up bringing himself to about 12 HP. I follow it up with an Eldritch Blast, with the Repelling Blast and Hadar's Grip invocations, plus the Crusher feat, Deolock things. He went to 0 HP almost instantly, and because the damage from Spike Growth was calculated in increments, he also failed all 3 death saves at the same time. Roll a new character. Not that early in the game, but a nice RP and real flex in Dragon of Icespire Peak. Spoiler warning, dun dun dun, spoiler for Dragon of Icespire Peak. Done? Okay, cool. We were going to the Dragon's Lair, and apparently few floors below there were 4 bandits or mercs. I played an Oath of Vengeance paladin who, for the most of the campaign, was more of an easygoing and pleasant guy. Standing strong in the front line, but not overly aggressive. One could even say a bit soft, asking to take prisoners when possible, instead of just straight up killing them, etc. Generally giving second chances and all that. Now we were facing these 4 idiots. Somewhere around here is a dragon which can find us at any moment, and they try to coerce us into stealing the gold for them. This is stupid. It's cold here, and the dragon already killed one of ours. I had enough. I moved towards the guy aiming the crossbow at my chest, and I put down the visor of my helmet. Its eye slits start to glow dim red.
I fought in the north against demon hordes and barely survived. I cut through orcs, mimics, ghosts, and whatnot just to come here to kill a dragon. And you really think I will fear a bunch of mercenaries who are trying to play tough guys? Think again. But quickly, I'm not standing here one more fucking second!
And I roll a 19 on the die with proficiency in high charisma. They surrendered and got immediately out of our way. And maybe we could find them if we wanted to for the next few days if we followed the brown line. Maybe not that massive of a flex, but a moment we all enjoyed a lot. Look, telling a little piss-ass bandit to go fuck themselves is always a good feeling. Hey everybody, Brian Von VA here, checking in after the vid. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Yes, I'm gonna roll a nat 20 on my charisma check. Please ring that bell. Please subscribe. I'll cry if you don't. I love you. I'll cry. Hey, was that a 1? Ah, shit. Never mind. Well, still, you should ring that bell and subscribe because you can get notified when we post or go live, which we don't usually do, but we might one day again. You never know. And please, submit a story to us that you want to tell us. Your biggest in-game flex, anything, really. Do it in the comments below. Do it on our subreddit, r/MrRipper. And of course, you can come say hi to me, Brian Von VA, at brianvonva.com. All my socials, I usually stream on Twitch a lot, so you can come say hi down there. Please come say hi. I really want to meet all of you in person. Well, sort of in person, kind of, I think. But still, it's all in there. Links are in the description below. And lastly, I always try to end things on a positive note, and I just want to say one thing. One thing today, that's it. I'm really hyped about all the little fun things that you guys and gals get up to in these games. And I've been able to watch so many people talk about the coolest things that they've been inspired by just because of our stories that we're reading out here. And I know there's thousands upon thousands of stories that we haven't gotten to yet, but just think of it this way. Every comment that you make is going to be in a video eventually. It's going to inspire somebody eventually, and it's going to literally be cemented in D&D history, maybe not for the whole world to see, but at least for some of us, that you did something cool. And I don't want any of you to stop trying to do things that are cool, because one-up each other. Why not? Have fun. Do what your character would normally do in-game, and don't worry if you seem a little bit edgy or a little bit crazy or a little bit silly, you know? Just do what your character would do. Like a paladin that's going to just have enough shit done that he wants it all sorted and settled, you know? Just get it over with. I'm 10 out of 10 approving of all of this because you guys and gals are imaginative and lovely and funny as can be. So never change and just improve. All the love, be safe, be happy, and I'll be right here waiting for you next time.